Welcome to Damia, Sage of Stone. As far as our opening hand goes, yes, we will keep on this one. We've got some almost said removal with Cultivate, but we got some ramp with Cultivate. We've got a board wipe in Crux of Fate, and we've got some wonderful protection for Damia. Those boots were made for walking, and Damia likes to walk in those boots. Let's. That's dumb. Let's lead off with Marshlands, and let's grab ourselves a Shockland that comes into play tap. That way we're not having to pay 2 damage, and then we will cover our commanders, and I think we just grab a Watery Grave. Not going to pay 2, and then we pass the turn. Come back here, Damia. There we go. All right, so we're playing Damia, Sage of Stone. Death Test. Skip your draw step at the beginning of your upkeep. If you have fewer than 7 cards in your hand, draw cards equal to the difference. Play against the Dragon, which we will cover in just a second. Let's go Tropical Island, have ourselves some nice Swiftfoot boots on the battlefield, and then kick it over to our opponent. Playing against the Dragon. As long as the Dragon is in the command zone or on the battlefield, other dragon spells you cast cost 1 less to cast. And then flying, and then whenever one or more dragons you control attack, draw that many cards. Then you may put a permanent card from your hand onto the battlefield. So pretty nifty. Opponent's going to go for an Arcane Signet, and then, yeah, we'll just jam ourselves a nice little Cultivate and go for a Gilded Lotus and have some fun. Yeah, Drowned Catacomb works, I think. Yeah, because we have the requirements. Let's go Cultivate. And I think at this point, we'll probably end up grabbing, since we do have 2 Dimir sources, I'll probably end up grabbing Double Forest down the middle on this one. So let's go with Double Forest, have a Forest enter the battlefield, and then anything else, pass it back over to our opponent. So we did cover both commanders. Give a quick shout out to our sponsors, MTGOTraders. Be sure to check them out if you want some cards in your future, if you're going to get into Commander Online. Let's give a quick shout out to inkgaming.com. You can use coupon code JOLT, or not coupon code JOLT, but ingaming.com/JOLT if you want to get yourself a nice little playmat and treat yourself at the same time and treat the channel at the same time. That way you can help it out, so it kind of helps out both people. And last but not least, I started a Patreon. So if you'd like to support cool content like this, there's a link down in the description below. Get your name at the beginning or the end of the credits. Or if you want to get your hand on some of these promotional tokens giveaway, be sure to check out my Patreon. And yeah. Keeping score at home, it's fish and free time. Let's have some fun. So, as far as Damia goes, this is we got a pretty good start. We've got Gilded Lotus coming down next turn. We've got an open Swiftfoot Boots. So if our opponent does end up going shields down, we will end up going for Swiftfoot Boots onto Damia. One of the main things, and this is probably going to shape. We might have. This might be a long Damia video, so you may not see the other one. But sometimes with Damia, once you get the value train going, it's kind of like Unash. Your opponent's just going to scoop up because, you get to the point to where there's just so much value that you can't stop the value train. And so with this Damia, basically, if there's some overlapping commentary, hey, I do apologize, but that's just the nature of a beast with these videos. I never know what video is going to go long or go short, or how it's going to play out. So I like to give the same spiel whenever I'm playing the actual commander. So with Damia, one of the things that you want to do is, a lot of the earlier stuff when I built Damia is when you have a commander that's 7 mana, actually, let's wait for our opponent to get this Arid Mesa resolved, and then we'll kind of jump into that. Okay, there they go. They grab a Taiga Bucket. And so, but yeah, long story short with Damia, feels good to say. It's been a long time since, it's been a month since I've been able to say that, so that feels good. And if you don't know what that is, Taiga Uppercut, it's a Tiger Uppercut from a Street Fighter, it's Sagat. So there you go. If you didn't know, that's what that is. Every time I grab Taiga, I cannot not say it. I have to. So, but yeah, long story short with Damia is a 7 commander converted mana cost commander. So if you're going to be going for 7 mana for your commander, you need to be able to make sure that it sticks around, whether it's something like Undying Evil, thank you for showing up, or something like Swiftfoot Boots, because if you just spend 7 mana, get it down, and you get hit with the Doom Blade, well, not Doom Blade, but if you get hit with something, some piece of removal, it's not fun. You're like, oh, that's a bummer. And so, all right, so it's going to be Gilded Lotus coming down. That's going to be 3 mana. That's going to be 8, and then we have 9 total mana next turn. So we're in a good spot. Even if they do have some sort of destruction spell, we've got Undying Evil. If they go for removal in response to Swiftfoot Boots, then we can always equip it on there and be in a pretty good spot. Now, one thing that we do need to watch out for is if our opponent does get down to some early dragons, that might be a little rough for us, but one of the cool things about Crux of Fate playing against a dragon deck is that we have a one-sided board wipe. We got Crux of Fate, destroy all dragon creatures. So that's kind of one of those nice feelings that you can, you just run Crux of Fate anyway because it's a nice board wipe to run. But in certain scenarios, it's one of those reasons why you play Magic, because you're playing against a dragon tribal deck, potentially a dragon tribal deck, and so having a one-sided board wipe with that, it's always a pretty good feeling. So Yeah, long story short with Damia, you just want to be able to generate some sort of value. It's like playing Angry Omnath. If you just tap out for Omnath and you don't have a land drop or a land to sacrifice to get that elemental, you're just, shields are down very bad. It's just such a loss of tempo that you're just not going to be able to bounce back from it. So it's very important to set up with these higher converted mana cost commanders. It's very important to set up some sort of protection or some sort of game plan of, all right, now once this commander's down, what am I going to do? And so, in another game, we just kind of rolled out, and not saying that you can't just support Damia out there by itself and hope that your opponent doesn't have removal. I did that in another video, and it's a pretty nice feeling. They didn't have anything, and it felt pretty good. So, not saying that there's always exceptions to where if the game gets to a point where you need to do that, just to be like, hey, if you've got it, you've got it. If not, then I'm going to be able to slowly take the game over. That is a very nice feeling. So our opponent is completely shields down. So we're going to go Damia on this one. Let's go. Yeah, headset's still good. Sorry, Dorothy, my cat was in my lap and she jumped out and it hit the cable. So I was just making sure. So let's have a command tower come down. Let's go Damia. It's going to be Gilded Lotus for triple blue. Tap down for black. There we go. And then go for 2 more mana. And I think at this one, we'll just go Tropical Island. And let's go for Swiftfoot Boots onto Damia. And there we go. And that's going to be nice and protected. Pay for 1. Watery Grave. There we go. Get Swiftfoot Boots onto Damia. And then we'll be able to push in at Hatali. I think that's how you say it, or that's how it's going to be for the video. Now, once this does happen, even though their opponent, the dinosaur, does have trample, either way, we're going to be in a really good spot because Damia has Death Touch, which is going to be very important. So it's going to swing in at our opponent's Planeswalker. We just want to... I didn't read this card earlier. Oh, they get to draw a card. Okay. I was like, oh no, did I fall into a trap? And also, I'm coming back from like a month-long break. So if I make some sort of sequencing error, or you're like, OMG, Jolt, why did you do this a certain way? Trying to get my brain to start firing back on those magic cylinders or those magic pathways, whatever you want to call it. So I'm trying to get my brain back into that mode because to be perfectly honest, when you're doing a channel, when you're giving commentary and playing at the same time, you're basically just doing 3 things at once. So it's kind of it's a little hard to make sure you're thinking of everything because right now, I'm explaining what the deck's going to do. I'm having to watch what my opponent's doing. I'm having to set up Damia. I mean, there's just a lot of things that go into your brain when you're playing and delivering commentary at the same time. But it's fun. I enjoy doing it. So it leads to a few mistakes here or there, but that does happen. So now, what are we wanting to see with Damia? One of the things that we do want to start to cash in is obviously card draw, but we need to get some sort of counter magic because we're getting close to the dragon coming down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Well, yeah, it's pretty far away. But once you get to the 6 or 7 range, that's pretty much going to be a lot of your dragons. And so we want to kind of watch out for that. Even if our opponent does have some sort of board wipe, we still got Undying Evil, which is going to be a very nice feeling. So we'll see what they end up rolling out. Now with Damia, if you're new to the channel, if you haven't seen Damia before, it's been a while since you've seen Damia, what are we trying to do with the deck? This did originally start out as a Sultai Super Friends deck, but it has transitioned into an Unbound Flourishing deck to where we're trying to win with something like Villainous Wealth, a really nice Hydroid Krasis, Torment of Hellfire, Exsanguinate, just different things like that. So just value based. I mean, because one of the things that we're doing Damia is ramping, so why not just have a bunch of X spells that go along with trying to pump out Damia as quickly as possible. So it's going to be Ojutai, Soul of Winter. Now, whatever dragon you control attacks, target non-land permanent. It doesn't untap during their next untap step. So yeah, that's not the end of the world with that one. It's simply just a 5/6. If we wanted to, what we could do is swing in with Damia with the Undying Evil to get rid of that dragon. That's something that we could do. Or if we just don't want to worry about them making these dragon tokens, yeah, I'd rather hold on to Crux of Fate. We can always actually end up going for Tamio, though, to bring Crux of Fate back. I think that sounds good. Let's just see what we draw into for the turn, though. That's going to be the important thing. So Temple of Mystery, Misty, and Deep Deranged Hermit. So let's make the land drop for the turn. Yeah, I think I kind of like doing that. Because that's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So we should have 10 total mana. So let's go Catacombs. Now let's crack Catacombs. Because the other thing that we're doing is kind of depleting our hand. That's going to be one of the important things with Damia is that you need to be aggressive with the stuff that you have in your hand. That way you can cash in more card draw, which is always going to be very important. So let's grab ourselves a Underground Sea. Let's go for Crux of Fate. We're going to destroy all dragon creatures. Well, do we want to do that right now? Yeah, because that's going to put us in a spot. Because what we can try to do is just jam an Undying Evil with Damia. And then they're going to be flying in, but yeah, I think we're okay with this. Because they're just going to, well, either way, they're just going to chump block with the dragon token now that I think about it. Or excuse me, with the dinosaur token. So we've got Tamio on Crux of Fate bringing it back. We can always try to catch our opponent snoozing with Ojutai and Damia. But if we want Tamio down, we need it to stick. So yeah, let's go and do that. Let's do Crux of Fate. Let's destroy all dragon creatures. And what we're going to be able to do on this one is basically just 1, 2, 3. As long as, there we go. All right, let's go and swing in for 4. Swing in at the Warrior Poet, and that's going to be an extra card draw for them. We do need to find a way to deal with this Ever Watching, though. That's going to be pretty important for us. And that's going to be Damia, and then let's just go for Tamio. And I think at this point, what we'll probably end up doing is just naming Unbound Flourishing at this point. We could go Eternal Witness if we wanted to bring something back, but we're in a good spot at this point right now. So let's go for Unbound Flourishing. Either way, there we go. Where are you? Unbound Flourishing. Click OK. We did not get lucky with that, but we did hit Stroke of Genius, so that's something that we can bring back. And then anything else, pass it back over to our opponent. So kick it back over to us. Our opponent has a board wipe. We've got Undying Evil to bring Damia back. And then hopefully we can deal with Warrior Poet. Because, I mean, well, I guess the +2, they can gain some life gain. As long as they're just not getting that damage ability with Warrior Poet, it's not the end of the world. In fact, we might start swinging at our opponent. But either way, if we swing at our opponent, they're probably still going to block with that dinosaur token. So either way, we will figure it out. But yes, one of the ways that we're trying to win is through one of the X spells, because, you know, we're trying to ramp, we're trying to get Damia out as quickly as possible. And so it just kind of makes sense to have something that cares about Dragonlord Ojutai, Flying and Trample. Ooh, that is going to be 5 damage to Tamio, which is not going to be good for us. So, yeah, we're a little bit risky with that Crux of Fate, but, you know, when you're playing Magic, sometimes it's all about risk, so it is what it is. That's going to be Tamio coming down. We'll still end up going for the +1, but, you know, we still got 3 cards from Damia, so we'll see what we can end up going for. And if we wanted to, during our upkeep, we can go for an Undying Evil to cash in an additional card draw. But I think I kind of like catching our opponent off guard. So let's just go for 3 card draws, see what we rip into. We do have Life from the Loam in the graveyard, but we're not really feeling that right now. It's going to be Soul Ring, Limdol's Vault, and Delay. Okay, so we can't... Well, actually, we can Vault. So what we can do is if we want to get rid of Dragonlord Atarka, we can go for the +1. Yeah, let's do that. So let's go Vault. That's going to be blue, then black. I'm not really sure exactly what we're trying to dig for with Tamio, because what we can do is we can go for removal with Dragonlord, or we can simply just use Tamio to grab an Unbound Flourishing. Let's just kind of see what the Vault has in store for us. So we've got a lot of life to pay to make this one worth it. So it's going to be Assassin's Trophy. Yes, we'll pay life to put that. Any order on the bottom. It's going to be Brainstorm. Go for the Throat. Does allow us to destroy Dragonlord. Yeah, I think, yeah, in this particular scenario, we just really want to keep Tamio on the battlefield. So I'm not going to pay life. Let's go ahead and put Wasteland on top, Torment of Hellfire, Worldly Tutor, Brainstorm, and then Go for the Throat. So let's go for the +1. We're going to name Go for the Throat off of this one. Ooh, we do have Delay too, which is going to be very nice. Go for the Throat. There we go. Click OK. That's going to go into our hand. Let's go for the Throat on Dragonlord. And I think at this point, do we want to... Yeah, I think I kind of like swinging in. Yeah, I do like swinging in at our opponent's Planeswalker because we do have Deranged Hermit as a little bit of backup. So let's go and swing in with Damia. And the other good thing about Tamio is Tamio's has this very nice ability of spells and abilities your opponents control can't cause you to discard cards or sacrifice permanents. That is, I can't tell you how many games I've been playing with Tamio where that just makes a huge difference. So, all right, so we're going to be swinging in for 4, kind of keeping that same thing going. There we go. Let's see if our opponent's going to toss the dinosaur and block. That's good because that means Tamio's going to stick around. And then, so we don't have to go Deranged Hermit, and I think we still have a land drop to make. Yes, we do. So that's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's go Soul Ring off of that. That's going to be delay. Yeah, I think that'll be good. Yeah, let's go Misty. That way we still keep Undying Evil online. So let's go triple green. Let's go old Range Hermit. Let's get this bad boy down. This is going to be 1, 2 with the Soul Ring. There we go. Yeah, I like doing this because it's going to keep us open on delay. More than likely, we'll have something that we can delay next turn. And then we have Undying Evil, and that's going to be a fresh grip for us. I do like that. So let's get these squirrel tokens on the battlefield. And then, oh, look at that. Anything else, we're going to go and pass the turn over to our opponent. So, hopefully if our opponent has a big spell they want to tap out for, we'll go for delay. That'll allow us to kind of suspend that counter or that spell, and then we can slowly start swinging in. We probably will end up paying for the echo cost off of Deranged Hermit because it's basically just Gilded Lotus and Soul Ring. So that'll be pretty good. And then we can slowly work on building Tamio back up. But yeah, if you're not running Tamio in any sort of deck that has her colors, I highly recommend it. There's just a lot of times to where, you're playing Commander. Most of the time you only get a graveyard going anyway, or it's nice to have something in the graveyard. And so just the pure fact of just going for +1 and then hitting the card off the top of your library that you need, it is a very good feeling. But there's just a lot of times where her ability of not letting your opponent cause sacrifice or discard. I mean, like I played against Nexor one time, and we had Tamio out there, and the game just turned into me protecting Tamio, and that that won the game because my opponent ended up having to go for a bunch of wheel effects just to find some sort of answer for Tamio, and it just felt pretty nice. So. Because, if you go for a Wheel of Fortune with Tamio, you can't discard the card, so it's just like 3 mana, draw 7 cards, and you're like, much obliged, opponent. I certainly do appreciate it. And so, opponent's got 6 cards in the hand. That's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Still a little far away from the Dragon, and we've actually got Undying Evil. So if we wanted to have some fun, because we're at the point now where Damia is protected with foot boots. The only reason we would need to keep yeah, I think because we could skip the echo cost and have Deranged Hermit come back out, but I just really like having some sort of insurance package for Damia. I feel like that's going to be pretty important. So let's see what our opponent's going to be tapping out for. That's another good thing about delay, or at least running delay in a counter package with Damia, is that it's just such high impact. The fact that you're going to be able to delay such a big spell like this, it just makes a huge difference. I mean, because for 2 mana, basically, it's going to be, by the time you cash in that card draw, by the time it comes back down, you're pretty much good to go. So, all right, so we're going to get rid of Harvester. We're not get rid of it, just kind of delay Harvester. If they've got counter magic, they do, but with its unclaimed territory, yeah, they can only spend it on a creature type. So we're just looking at maybe 1 counter spell from our opponent if they have it. All right, it's going to send Snap the Harvester back into the suspend zone. He's in timeout, and he's speeding in a school zone. That's not good. Obzon Dragon, you should never do that. But yeah, so long story short with the break, I took a break from my channel for about a month. I hadn't done that in ever. And so it was nice to kind of rebound. If you don't know, my wife and I, we had a baby. Her name is Loretta. She's a little girl, and she just turned 3 months. And yeah, just spent some time bonding with her. It was very nice to be able to get off work and not worry about channel stuff, and just have fun with her, because she's getting to that age now to where she can interact, and she's laughing at stuff, and she's just being goofy. And my God, whew, that baby, if your bottle... she is. We're not going to crack Misty because I'd rather wait in response to some sort of removal. All right, so let's go Deranged Hermit. Let's go with Damia trigger first. We're going to be cashing a 5 card draw. It's going to be very, very nice. We're not going to lie from the loam on this one. Wasteland, Chromatic Lantern, Flooded Strand, Birds of Paradise, and Windswept Heath. That's not exactly what we want to see, but we will take it. That's going to be 1, 2. There we go. Yes, pay for that echo cost. Keep that Squirrel Lord on the battlefield. And then, yeah, I guess, oh, dang it. I meant to get something down, but either way, it's going to be fine. So let's go and push in. Let's swing in Damia at our opponent, and then we'll swing in all the squirrels at the poet. There we go. If they want to block on one of the squirrels, they certainly can. And then, yeah, swing in like that. So, They're going to get an extra card draw. One of the downsides is we don't have an extra, like a counter magic at this point right now, but we will be pumping up on Tamio. We could try to blind fire like some counter magic, maybe something like disallow. For some reason that's sticking out to me, so let's see if we can get ourselves a disallow, like just rip it off the top of the library with Tamio, and then we'll keep our fingers crossed. At the very least, that allows us to, once we get her up to 3, that's going to allow us to hang back with it. Ooh, and the dinosaur. Let's see. Actually, yeah, we'll go Wasteland. And then let's go Birds of Paradise. Let's go for Tamio. We're going to go for the +1. Let's name Disallow, because we haven't seen that yet. It didn't hit it. It's worth a shot. All right, so let's go for a Chromatic Lantern. That's going to be 1, 2, 3. And I think we will end up popping one of our opponent's land with Wasteland. So let's go Wasteland. Let's go and pop that Command Tower. That way it just makes it a little bit harder for them to get their mana going. And then anything else, we have no creatures to go for. We're going to go and pass the turn. So if they want to swing in with the Dinosaur token at Tamio, unfortunately, we'll keep us off going for that -3. But eventually we get to the point to where we just want to end up having that active -3 anyway. We probably wouldn't want to send her to the graveyard already for that. So, but it would be nice to get a Crux of Fate, especially in a matchup like this. Getting rid of all of the dragons in the air would definitely make a huge difference. All right, so our opponent's going to shock in a Breeding Pool. And that's going to be a Mana Vault, so they're going for some extra mana. And they do have 4 cards in the hand. We're looking at the Ur Dragon of being 4. That's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So they definitely do have the mana for the Ur Dragon. But let's see what they're going to be rolling out. And our opponent's going to go for Oros the Avenger. So whenever it deals combat damage to a player, you may pay 3. If you do, it deals 3 damage to each non-white creature. Yeah, that's going to be okay. Click OK on that. If they end up swinging the dinosaur at Tamio, that's going to get rid of her. We probably still, if they don't end up happening, now that our opponent's kind of getting to the point where they got Mana Vault mana and different things like that, now they do have to untap for that. But we're going to see Tunab coming off, Suspend sometime relatively soon. We'll probably end up doing is just going for the -3 just to bring Crux back, just to kind of give us something to play towards. Now we did. Can't be countered, okay. Now, we did run into a spot to where last turn we just ripped into like a lot of non-cards or nothing that kind of interacts with our opponent's board state. So hopefully with this extra action, or at least 3 extra cards, we'll be able to draw into something that kind of allows us to do something about our opponent's board state. So let's see if that dinosaur, I keep wanting to call that dinosaur token a dragon token, and it's driving me nuts. So let's see if they end up, I think that will be... Let's see if they're going to go for it. I mean, because if they swing it with the dinosaur token, then we've got Deranged Hermit that's a 1/1 that's going to get rid of that tribal effect. Yeah, either way, we'll see. And we might actually end up going for Undying Evil on one of our creatures. All right, there we go. That's going to be, yeah, they are going to swing in at Tamio. That's going to be a good play on that one. It's going to keep us off that for next turn. And let's do this. So let's... And we should have held back 1 squirrel. A little bit of a sequencing error on my part, I think, earlier on that. All right, it's going to be Dinosaur Token swinging in. Let's go for the blocks. It's going to be Deranged Hermit on Dinosaur, Birds of Paradise on Dinosaur. Click OK. Let's just go and cash in this this Undying Evil. It's been sitting in our hand for a little bit, and that's going to give us a few extra squirrel tokens. So, and at the same time... Oh, and excuse me, your opponents can't cast spells during your turn, so that will stop us from going for Undying Evil. So, there we go. I was thinking we could go for it, and I was like, why is it not highlighted? Ah, there you go. That makes sense. So, we'll see what... Yeah, we definitely want to try to end up going for that Crux of Fate, if we can bring it back somehow. Especially with that Dragonlord Dramoke out there. That is not going to be good for us. Let's not go for Life in the Loam. Unbound Flourishing. Toxic Deluge. That's exactly what we want to see. Yes, indeed. Board Wipe City. So, let's go Tamio. Now that we have Unbound Flourishing, let's just try to grab ourselves a Villainous Wealth. That sounds good. Let's go Villainous Wealth. Let's see if we hit it off the top. Ah, we don't. Okay, so let's do some setting up. Our opponent's completely tapped out. Let's go for, I guess, Temple of Mystery. Let's do this first. Let's go Undying Evil on Damia. We'll do this first. We'll swing in with Damia. It's going to be a full 4 coming across. It does have Death Touch, so we're probably not going to want to see... Yeah, we're probably not going to see any blocks from our opponent's commander. I mean, from their dragons, but they might end up going for that. But either way, we've got Death Touch, and they're probably thinking that we have some sort of way to bounce back from Damia. So either way, we're going for Toxic Deluge. So if it happens to be Dragon Lord Jamoka that they block with, that's a little extra life that we don't have to pay. But either way, with this Toxic Deluge, it's going to be a pretty good thing for us. It's going to clear up their board and just make it easy for us to kind of grind our way out of this one. All right, so the will end up being Dragon Lord Jamoka, double block. Okay. And let's do... There we go. All right, so we're going to send that damage first into Dragon Lord. That way we just don't have to pay a little bit of... Ooh. Let's go Undying Evil on Damia. Almost clicked through that. That would have been... And let's make sure that Damia goes to the graveyard instead of the command zone. Have Damia come... Oh, look at that. And actually, we don't even have to go for Toxic Deluge since that the way that worked out. Yeah, that's actually pretty good. All right, so let's go for Swiftfoot Boots back on Damia. Let's go Unbound Flourishing. Have Unbound come down. I guess we just go for Temple of Mystery. That way we can get a little scry, a little bit of scurry. And yeah, we don't have to sacrifice that. That's going to click OK. So let's see what Temple... All right, opponent's going to scoop it up on that one. Yeah, that's one of those games to where once we end up getting this happening... We got Damia down with the Undying Evil, and you can see simply just running something like Undying Evil and keeping Damia back on that side of the battlefield. You know, we are doing what Sultai does, and that's just draw a bunch of cards and not really close the game out that quick. And so we were cashing in the card. You can see we're halfway through the deck. We haven't seen any of our X spells that allow us to win the game yet, so once we have Unbound Flourishing, we should be running into something sometime soon as we keep ripping into the library. But long story short, we're going to be able to eventually close it out. Yeah, pull from tomorrow with the Unbound Flourishing. We're going to find ourselves an Exsanguinate or Torment of Hellfire and close the game out from here. So this is a textbook Damia game where we're just going to slowly grind out some value and close the game out. And we did use Crux of Fate, a little more of an aggressive maneuver, but thankfully we were able to keep Damia on the battlefield, and it was a pretty good feeling. So anyways, if you enjoyed the video, hey, like and subscribe. Thanks. Bye.